Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are obviously here to film another video and I'm excited for this one. I think it's long overdue. You would have seen by the title what this video is, and honestly I am in the middle of way too many book series, so knocking a few of them out with this video is going to feel very freeing, I think, because we will be finishing some series. Yeah, I'm kind of deciding between the book I have on this stack and another book behind me. I might grab it and I can talk about both of them, and then when the time comes we can decide which one we want to finish, like which series. The one I'm most definite about is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. This is book 2 and the final book in the Nightborn duet. I know there's a novella and I know we're starting another duet within the same world, but technically for this duology, this is, you know, it's a duology. This is the last book. So we're gonna be finishing this one. And I know I only just started The Crowns of Nyaxia, like world, the Nightborn duet, in my last vlog, but I've just been so eager to finish this one. We'll start and finish this one because I haven't started it, and I just know I'm really gonna enjoy it, and I'm just excited to see the story all wrapped up with Araya and, is that her name? Yeah, Araya and Rain. I just know it's gonna be a good time. Oh my god, the font is small. This is a very long book, you guys, like very long. I'm quite liking the format of these videos where I give you more of a description and a synopsis when I actually start the book, so we're going to carry on with that, but also bear in mind these are all final books in duologies or series, so there's only so much I can tell you. But yeah, this is book number 1. This series I feel like has been looming over my head because I read the first 4 relatively consistently, and then it's been months. It's been a little bit of time, and I feel like I just need to finish this series, specifically because I really want to go into the Rose Hill series. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But I really want to go into that series, so I want to get this one finished. So we're going to be reading Hopeless, which is Beau's story. I think I've also been putting this off because this is kind of the character, no offense, I care about the least. Like, nothing will top Jasper in Reckless, like, ever. Never, ever, ever. That's not his name, I meant Theo. Theo in Reckless will never, ever, ever be beaten. So I'm just like, I know it's not going to be as good as the last 2 books, but it's still going to be good. So we're gonna finish this series up once and for all, and it's a nice short read. Well, it's like 386 bits of romance, and the font is like a decent size, so I think this will be pretty quick. And then we come to the crossroad where I don't know which one of these I want to read. So let's talk about both of them. First we have Long Shadow by Olivia Atwater. This is book 3 in the Regency Fairy Tales series, and the final book, I believe. I don't know if she's going to write another one, but for now this is the last book. And this is following Abigail and Mercy, and it's like a sapphic love story, which is stunning. We need more of those. I need to read more of those. They obviously exist. And yeah, this is in the same world as Half a Soul and 10,000 Stitches. I feel like I've read both of them in vlogs. I definitely read the first one in a vlog. I may have read the second one in a vlog. But yeah, this is a potential because I know it will be so quick. It's 256 pages. And I find that they're quite quick to fly through, which is what tempted me. And then also this is a trilogy, so it feels more complete if I read this one, if that makes sense. I don't really know exactly what this one is about, and I also think it's a little bit of a spoiler for book 1. But I know I will love this book. But then we also have Ruthless Vows, and if you guys have been here for a long time, I got this book in January or February of this year, and I still haven't read it. I haven't. And I feel like this is just like looming over my head. Like every time I look at my bookshelves, I just beeline, like my eyes go straight for Ruthless Vows, and I'm like, oh my god, I still haven't read it. Like, this is ridiculous. Which is why it's a heavy potential. It is. I'm trying to take the dust jacket off. I don't really know why. I don't think there's anything underneath it. No, even though I bought it right after release, they didn't do anything special. But this is obviously book 2 to Divine Rivals, which I read in December of last year. It's been a while, guys. It's been a while. But yeah, this is just following on from the events of book 1. You know, there's a war with some gods. But it feels quite reminiscent of the time period of, you know, World War II and everything like that. And it was really good. I really liked it. But I have just never gotten round to book 2. So maybe we'll read this. I mean, the font is tiny. It's about 415 pages. So we will just see. We're kind of deciding between the two of these. I'm sure when we get round to it, we will make a decision. I don't think I'll read both of them in this video because then the video will be too long. But I have a whole bunch of time off, like some holiday booked from work this coming week, so we have a lot of time to read. So we'll just have to see what we're actually in the mood for, and we will pick between these. But Hopeless and The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King are a definite. And I'm starting this one today, actually. The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. We're going to be starting this massive book today. It's very large. It is almost 700 pages. I feel like this one's a bit cheaty because it does say the Crowns of Nyaxia series, but there's duologies within it. I don't know. We're going to count this as finishing the duology. But that is the lineup for this video. I will obviously keep you guys updated with everything I read, and I will probably see you guys tomorrow for my initial thoughts on The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I have just been watching episode 3 of Rivals, and let me tell you, it's a good one. I feel like this is wonky. Oh, it's not. Okay, well. Yeah, it's a good one. It is a really good one. But I have been reading. It's Wednesday though, and I haven't read a lot. I do fear I'm in a very little tiny reading slump, because I just have not had the motivation to read at all. Recently, the last couple of days, I'm very much more in a gaming mood, which is fine, but I do still want and need to get some reading done, so, you know, there is that. But I have read some of The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. I'm now on page 132, which I believe is about 15% of the way through, if not a little bit more, and I'm definitely enjoying it. I do think the conflict that we ended the book off on, like the first book off on, is obviously following through to this one, and it's very prevalent and it's a very main part, and it's not like my most favourite thing in the world. I think that's my only kind of qualm at the moment. Like, it's kind of a relationship conflict, and I'm like, okay, I understand why this is happening, completely respect everyone's feelings in this situation. However, I just want them to be happy. So if we could speed that element up, that would be great. But other than that, yeah, I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, I can't really say what's going on, but where book 1 ended off, we've kind of jumped straight back in. Lots of action right away. There's no sort of like lull. We have just been given kind of our task, the driving force for the rest of this book. I imagine, you know, there's something that our characters now need to do, and that I think is gonna like drive the rest of the plot for the rest of the story, which is good. Sorry, I just did my hair and now I'm like fiddling with it, but yeah, that will be our driving force, which is nice because, you know, when it's like, okay, all this crazy stuff happened, but what's going to be the actual plot for the next book? I think I know what the plot is going to be right now. I am enjoying it. Thus far, not as much as book 1, but I'm still enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. It's still good, but not quite as good as book 1 just yet, you know? Why is this piece of hair completely straight? Oh, I must have missed a section. Anyway, yeah, that's kind of where we're at with the Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. Today I'm going on an autumnal walk with Leon. He is finishing uni in 20 minutes. And we're going to meet in Marble Arch, get a blank street, and then we're just going to walk around Hyde Park. And hopefully the trees are going to be all autumnal. I don't know about everywhere else, but here in London, the trees have, like, I don't know, they're just taking a lot longer than they usually do to drop their leaves. Like, if I look outside right now, every single tree I can see is either mostly green or only just in its yellow stages. It's November 13th. I feel like by now the trees are starting to look a bit bare, usually. But not this year. This year, we have basically all of our leaves. So I'm hoping if I go to Hyde Park, it will be very autumnal and the leaves will be changing colour, because I don't think they should be gone yet. Because where I live, which is about 25 minutes away from Hyde Park on the tube, we still have all of our leaves and they're only just yellow. There's some on the floor, but not like tons, you know, that's kind of the vibe. So I'm hoping for a nice autumnal walk with a hot banana bread matcha latte, and it will just be good. So, it is, what is that? It is Saturday evening, it's about 6 p.m, and I have some reading updates because I know I haven't really given you guys many updates, but I have actually finished The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. Yeah. I basically read just over 50% of this book yesterday. I watched like some old reading sprints and I just like did them and finished this book. The second half was definitely a lot better than the first half. Like, the first half really dragged, to be honest. I don't know what it was. It just felt like quite slow paced, to be honest. And it wasn't my favorite. But then the second half really picked up. I felt like things were happening a lot faster. There was more of an emotional connection. Thank God. I was like, come on, let's like speed this up now, yeah? With the romance. And we got there in the end. So yeah, I was quite torn on my rating with this one because, like I said, the first half wasn't great, but the second half, the plot really, you know, picked up. Everything started to come to a nice close, things like that. So I did end up, I feel like my fringe looks really bad. I did end up on a 4-star with this one because 3.75 just felt like a little bit low, but 4 maybe feels a tiny bit high. I don't really know. We're gonna stick with the 4 because I do love these characters and I love the world. I just don't I'm not particularly fond of how this story was told in the second half, but I still enjoyed it. So yeah, we're gonna go with like a very low 4-star, I think, is where we're gonna settle with this one. But also I feel like things were left, there were still some things were left open that can be explored in the other 2 duologies within this larger series, if that makes sense. It's like interconnected duologies. I'm using this one as finishing the Nightborn duet, but obviously not the Crowns of Nyaxia series because it hasn't all been released yet. But yeah, that's where we're at. With this one, I did enjoy it, but I'm honestly happy for it to just be done now. But we did get a little teaser for the characters in 6 Scorched Roses, so I'm very excited to be reading that one, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy it. But then that same night, which was last night, I picked up our second book for this video, which is Hopeless, which is the last book in the Chestnut Springs series. And I had already started this before I got to around page 45, when I initially picked it up a month or 2 ago, but I just never continued it because I wasn't really vibing with it at the time. It was a very soft DNF, like I knew I was going to come back to it, and last night was me coming back to it, and already I'm enjoying it so much more. I'm now on page 105 of this one, and I'm definitely sensing a connection between our 2 characters. So in this one, basically I feel like it's easier to just go by tropes. There is an age gap and there is a fake like engagement trope. Basically you have Bailey, and if you've read the other books in the series you'll know that she is a Jensen, and she has some brothers, and these Jensen boys are like awful. They wreak havoc on the whole town. Nobody likes them, which is rightfully so, to be honest, in terms of the boys. However, they also group Bailey into that category with the brothers, and that's so completely unfair because she's nothing like them. She works really hard to kind of remove herself and disassociate herself from her brothers. That's the washing machine, guys, sorry. Can't control that. Yeah, she tries really hard to like disassociate herself with from her brothers, but people in the town just can't really see her as something separate, and they think that she's just as bad as her brothers. So she finds it really hard to get a job. She's never had like a boyfriend or anything before because people just don't want to like be associated with her and the Jensen family. And then you have Beau. He is an Eton. If you've read the rest of the series, the Eton are kind of like the main family you follow throughout the whole series, and he is one of 3 brothers. So we have 3 brothers and then 2 other books about two guys in the family who are like brothers, and Bo has been out at war basically, and he's come back and he wants his family to stop asking questions. He just wants a little bit of peace from them, to be honest. So he's, you know, proposes this idea of the fake engagement, because if Bailey has the last name Eaton, then maybe people won't judge her as much, and if Bo has a fiance, then his family won't bother him as much. So that's kind of where we're at with this one. They've literally just entered into the fake engagement where I'm at, so I'm very intrigued to see how it's going to play out, kind of the reactions from the town and the family members and everything like that. And yeah, I'm probably going to read more of this today, but I'm having a lot of fun with it thus far, and I'm very excited to finish this series. It is the next day, and I did some reading last night, guys. I am now on chapter 28, which is page 246 of Hopeless. We read a lot last night. And why is this bit of hair like out here? So yeah, I started this a couple months ago and then I soft DNF'd it. I'm enjoying it way more than I think I would have if I hadn't DNF'd it, if that makes sense. Like, if I just followed through and finished it when I initially started it, I don't think I would have enjoyed it as much as I am now, because I'm really enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to be my favourite in this series. It may even be my least favourite, but that doesn't mean that it's, like, not good, you know? Like, nothing's going to compare to Reckless, and that's fine. It doesn't have to. But this is still really enjoyable, and I'm liking where it's going. I'm definitely going to finish it today. I mean, I hardly have anything left. And it's been very fun to read. And I can't believe I'm finishing up this series. But also, just being this far into the series, like, every other couple has been in this book. And I just love that. Like, I love seeing all the characters that we've been following throughout all of these books, you know, make an appearance in this one. I really like Bailey's character a lot, and I think Bo is very different to how others perceive him. Like, obviously he's been featured in all the other books as well, or most of the other books, and how the other characters perceive him is quite different to how he actually is, like, in his own point of view, which has been very interesting, and I'm liking him more than I thought. And yeah, all around this has just been, like, a really fun, silly, goofy read. There's been some, like, questionable scenes, but other than that, it's been a great time. And I am really enjoying it, and I've actually asked for some Chestnut Springs merch, bookish merch, for Christmas. So, after December, you might see me in a little Chestnut Springs sweatshirt or something. Who knows? I'm very excited about that. But yeah, we're gonna finish this one today. Sorry, my friends are messaging on the group chat. Yeah, gonna finish. Guys, can you just not for like 2 minutes? I'm gonna finish this one today. I'm very excited. And I'm predicting like 3.75 or a 4. Probably. We'll see what the third act conflict is. But yeah. Also, in the clips, you'll see I have been reading it on my Kindle. It's just a lot more comfortable when I'm laying in bed to read this on my Kindle because I don't want to crack the spine. But there's that. The cats are being idiots. What the hell? I'm done now though. I'm going to go play Sims for a bit and then I'm going to FaceTime my friends again later and probably finish up the book on call. And then we can start the final book for this vlog. the cars are extra loud today, I'm not gonna lie. We finished Hopeless by Elsie Silver last night. I finished it on FaceTime with my friends. It feels kind of crazy to say that I have finished the Chestnut Springs series. I mean, I only started it this year. Like, it's not that crazy, but it feels kind of crazy. Like, I finished it. The Chestnut Springs series, I've read them all. That's crazy. But I settled on a 3.75 for this one. The thing with the Chestnut Springs series is, as a whole, I think it's a 5-star series. Like, the family and, like, mainly the family in these books is so amazing to see. Like, I love it so much. And then also just, like, the world. It's the real world, but, like, the world of Chestnut Springs is stunning. Like, I love the vibes, and I do love all the characters. So as a whole, it's a 5-star series. Elsie Silver can do no wrong in this series, in this world. However, this one was definitely my least favourite in the series. We all know, if you watched my Wales reading romance for a week video, you know I read, I think it was Powerless and Reckless, which is funny. Not the Lauren Roberts books, the Elsie Silver ones. I read both of those in that video, and I think Powerless was a 4.75 and Reckless was a 5, Heartless is a 5, and I think Flawless was a 4. So that's my rating for the whole series, and this one, yeah, we settled on a 3.75, so it was the lowest, but I still had such a fun time. I read it in 2 days. Like, I thought I was slumping when I was reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, and then I literally picked up this one and read it in 2 days, so maybe we're not slumping. We'll have to see how the next book goes. But yeah, I liked the characters. I feel like emotionally it was quite quick, but physically it was very, like, drawn out, I would say, if that even makes sense. But I loved that. I loved, you know, Bailey trying to find her place in this story. And I liked seeing such a different side of Beau to what you get in other people's books. But all in all, like, it wasn't my most favourite thing. Engagements of convenience never make sense to me, because I'm just like, it's not really realistic in this sort of, like, setting world, or in my personal life. Like, it's just not. I know they happen, but so that the town stops being mean to her, like, that's not really why people do fake engagements, or even fake marriages. That wasn't a spoiler, by the way. So that there was that level of, you know, unbelievability. It's like, we don't really need this to be a fake engagement. You know? I feel like there was a kind of twist. No, there wasn't. There really wasn't. But, like, I don't know. There was a nice message to the end of the story, I think. Can you tell I don't really have many thoughts? When I read this book, guys, I was just like, oh, this is so fun. And then I finished it, and then that was that. You know, like, I don't really have any thoughts. So we're gonna wrap this one up. But I did finish her, and she was a great time. And I'm so sad I finished the series. I don't think I'll ever reread the whole series, but I will probably reread Reckless very soon, because I love Theo and Winter. Like, yeah. But we have picked our second book. My friends actually helped me decide last night. When I finished Hopeless, I showed them my 2 options. I said, which one should I read? And they picked Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. Guys, we're doing it. Are we finally doing it? I've owned this book for months, and every single month I've gone to put it on a, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a provisional TBR. Obviously, I've never read it. Never got around to it. Literally, like, for the last 4 months, I've picked it up and been like, I'd love to read this month. And then I just haven't. So we're going to try and get around to this one, basically, I've had some time off work. And today's Monday. I go back to work on Thursday. I have 3 more days off, including today. I would like to get this book done in those 3 days. You know? So I'm quite excited for this one. I think because there's been such a big gap, that's actually good. Because I've heard book 1 was very... Or obviously I've read book 1. But book 1 was more romance heavy. And then apparently this one is a lot more plot heavy. So I think I won't have that disappointment of them being so different that I think a lot of people did have when they read this book, because I don't remember book 1. So I think we're gonna be fine. I obviously remember parts of book 1, otherwise I wouldn't read this one. But like specifics, don't remember all that much. I remember loving like the vibes and the characters. So I am excited to read Ruthless Vows. I think it's gonna be a really fun time. I'm hoping to enjoy it. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I'm predicting like a 3.75 or a 4 if things are really good. But we're going to start this one today. Not right now. Gonna play Sims and have breakfast and a matcha. But we will start this one at some point today and hopefully make decent progress, because this book is 400 pages. 415 pages. So, she's not big, but she's not small either. So I want to make a decent amount of progress today. And I'm so excited to be on the final book of this video. It is Wednesday. I've been so bad at updating in this vlog, my apologies. But it is Wednesday and we did start Ruthless Vows. I can't remember if I've even spoken to you guys about it once. I don't think I have. Yeah, I started Ruthless Vows on Monday. And it is now Wednesday. I already said that. And I am on page 218. Yeah, I'm on page 218 of this book, which is crazy because I actually read the entirety of those pages on Monday. You would have seen I made a little like Pinterest board for Roman and Iris and just the vibes of the first book and I guess the second book too, even though I hadn't read it at that point or read any of it at that point. I made that and then I had like my little Christmas ASMR room on in the background and I started this, and yeah, that day I read 218 pages, which is basically halfway through. And I'm happy to report I'm really enjoying it. I'm liking it a lot more than I thought I would. I think a lot of people had said that, you know, it wasn't as romance heavy as book 1, so I really went into that with my, like, I really went into the book with my expectations for the romance being lowered, and I think that's really helped, because no, there's not a lot of romance, there's a lot more plot, but because I knew that, I'm enjoying it so much more, because I wasn't, you know, I've not been disappointed, my expectations haven't been met, you know, things like that. I can't really say too much about what's happening, but we've definitely, you know, followed on from the ending of the first book, and we're kind of seeing Iris and Roman respectively kind of work through and tackle the obstacles that were like placed upon them at the ending of the first book, so that's been really interesting. And yeah, the plot is ramping up a lot. In the first book, you know, this whole world is kind of based off of this war between these two gods, and in the first book it's very much more building the foundation of Roman and Iris's relationship, and you obviously see some of the war. They're on the front lines at one point, like they are experiencing the war, but it's not completely focusing on that, but in this one it is, and you're seeing a lot more of that war, which I have personally found very interesting. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this book. I currently have no ideas on where the rest of the book could go to, but I'm still intrigued to find out. I think my plan is to finish this book today because this is my last day off. I go back to work tomorrow, so I want to get this book finished before I go back to work, but I think that's very doable. I have, yeah, like 200 pages left. So I should be able to finish this one up today. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm so glad I finally bit the bullet and just picked it up. I can't believe I put it off for so long. There was literally no reason to do that. But I'm very excited to have almost completed this duology. Okay. Yeah, it's been weeks, honestly. It's like the 9th. Why am I not in focus? It's like the 9th or the 10th of December. It's been a minute, but I am here to wrap up the vlog. I didn't think I was going to upload this video, but I've decided I want to. I think, yeah, I want to put it up there. So let's do a little bit of a wrap up and see what I can remember, considering I read these books weeks ago. But the first series that we finished was the Nightborn Duet. I know this isn't the end of the Crowns of Nyaxia series, but it was the end of this duology, the Nightborn duology. So we did finish this one together. It was a beefy book. It was huge. And I do remember not enjoying this as much as The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I definitely think that was the best one out of the two. This one was still interesting. I just feel like their relationship conflict dragged out a little bit. I feel like we could have cut out a whole bunch of the filler. Like, I feel like the plot could have moved a little bit faster. But nonetheless, I still really like these characters. I enjoy being in this world. I think it's really cool and unique. And I did enjoy it. I think I gave it 4 stars. I don't remember. I'm going to put all of my ratings on the screen because I don't remember what I gave any of these books. So I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to put it on the screen. You can see that because, yeah, I don't remember. But I did enjoy this one ultimately. I have ordered the first book in the next duet. It's arriving tomorrow, actually. I got a signed edition. It's coming all the way from Edinburgh, which is fun. But that should be arriving tomorrow. So I'm definitely going to be picking up that one, and I cannot wait to start the novella. Like, I'm genuinely really, really enthusiastic for that one. It's meant to be incredible. But that was the first series we finished. And then the second series we finished, which I actually can't believe I finished it. Like, it feels kind of sad that I don't have any more books within this specific series, but I do have more from this author, so it's fine. That is the Chestnut Ridge, no, that's the Sims World. Chestnut Springs series by Elsie Silver. This is the final book, Hopeless. I can't believe I finished that. Like, the series. I can believe I finished the book. It's not hard. It's a small book. But this one was following Bo and Bailey, and I don't think I hated this one as much as other people did. I mean, I didn't hate it at all. I'll put my rating on the screen. I don't think it was that low. I think it was a relatively high rating. I did enjoy it. It wasn't my favourite. We all know Theo Silver Has My Heart. That was the best one. And then Cade and then Jasper, like, those are the tops. It was probably my least favourite in the series, but it was still really good. I still really enjoyed it. I was intrigued for Bo's story. I don't think it was quite done justice, but I did like Bailey. I liked how she was quite headstrong. And yeah, I did just enjoy this one, and I flew through it, to be honest. I always love a nice little easy romance, especially after such a huge fantasy. I mean, come on. But yeah. I still have Wild Eyes, Wild Love, and the whole of the Gold Rush Ranch series to read, so I'm not done with Miss Elsie Silver yet, but I have finished this series, but I will be rereading Reckless sooner rather than later. I can promise you that. And then the final book and the final series duology, whatever, that we finished in this video was the Divine... I'll put the name of the series here, don't remember the name of the duology, but it was the second book to Divine Rivals, which is Ruthless Vows by Rebecca Ross. I loved this one. It was so, so good. I forgot, I think, how much I enjoyed the first book and how much I enjoyed the characters and the world and just the magical feelings that this duology gave me. So when I went back into this one, I was like, oh my god, this is actually incredible, and I read it very quickly. I know I didn't update you guys after the first update, like I updated you after I read, I don't know, like 100 or so pages. I just forgot how much I love this series, so when I picked it back up, it was incredible. It was so good. I thought it was a perfect ending to this duology, like the way it all got wrapped up. I was very happy with it, I was very satisfied with it. I will say what everyone was saying about the romance being a lot less heavy in this one, it's true, you know? You've still got that emotional connection there 100%, but if you know what happens in this book, you'll know there's just not really a time or place for much romance to take place, and I honestly was completely okay with that. I kind of understand now why maybe the romance in the first book was a little bit fast-paced, because there was much bigger things that we needed to focus on in terms of the plot and the world and the war that we are in the middle of in this book. But yeah, it was so, so good. I'm so sad I finished this duology now. I definitely want to read more from Rebecca Ross because I find her writing very immersive, and I could really feel myself in the world and amongst all this magic in this almost like World War II-esque time period. It was very interesting to read, and I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I can't believe I finally finished it. Because if you guys remember, I hauled this book all the way back in like February, and I've only just picked it up, but I'm so happy I did. It was incredible. But those are the 3 books, the 3 series that we ended up finishing in this video. I did have fun filming this video. It was nice to tie up some loose ends with all these different series, and I definitely think this type of video, and also continuing series I'm in the middle of, is something I do want to do in the future. I think it's quite useful as well to get through, you know, those series that you are just not finishing, which I don't even want to count how many series I'm in the middle of. I probably will do it soon, but I don't really even want to think about it. But that is the end of today's video. You guys, well, I guess I've not posted a video in a month or so. I am sorry about that if you made it to the end of this video. I want to say hopefully I will be back to some more consistently regular content. I hope. I think I just got a little bit burnt out with recording and editing and reading for the videos. Yeah, it was getting a bit too much, but I'm back. And yeah, these are the books we finished, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Please like and subscribe, and you will hopefully see me in my next one. Goodbye!